Well, Andrea, this is a move that is both expected and yet it's always surprising when someone who has been so close to the president will be leaving the administration. It comes at a time when there is a storm of issues that seem to suggest that the Bannon era is over. We can report that firmly now, but why now? Why in this moment? A few different reasons. Chief of Staff John Kelly has been doing an assessment of top officials. One of the things that senior administration officials have indicated is that Kelly wanted to be certain that everyone was rowing in the same direction, staying within their lanes, following the new structure that has been set up inside the White House. There are many observers who would say that Steve Bannon simply did not do that. At the same time, we've had the events of the last several days with Charlottesville and the reputation that Bannon has. He would describe himself as a nationalist, anti-globalist. Many others would use much harsher language, saying that he has been stoking some of the rhetoric of racial division and hatred and those sorts of things. He has been part of the strategy team that helped the president tap into the populist energy in the country during the campaign. And while he has had ups and downs inside the White House, we're at a point of critical mass. New leadership with a new chief of staff, external events that certainly point to Bannon as an unhelpful voice inside the White House, and at a time when the president, who has done himself harm by not being clear about his own views with respect to where the country needs to be on matters of race, and his inability to sort of take that moment and make it a moment of moral leadership, to have Bannon remaining in the strategy wing of the West Wing, a problematic thing. We've also had Republicans saying the Bannon era needed to end and it was time for the president to take action. And then we have one of the simplest reasons. It's a Friday in summer, a time when there is less attention paid, a time when the president has been formally out of the White House during renovations and construction there. And before he retakes his place in the Oval Office, it's a time to make a change. The president also today at Camp David for a national security team, and Bannon has been at odds with H.R. McMaster, the national security advisor. Many have blamed him for inflaming the critical sort of campaign on the conservative outside media against McMaster. He had also been on the National Security Council in the initial days, something that was highly unusual for the kind of role Bannon had in the White House, was removed from that position. So when you look at this confluence of events, it would speak to a moment where the president can make a decision like this, that Bannon can, in many ways, some of his most recent press reports, his conversation that became public, may have been an indication of his own self-awareness that the end of the run was here. Talking about China, talking about outside interests. So the Steve Bannon era is over at the White House as the president will sort of go back and regroup with new leadership team inside the West Wing. Andrea?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.